In the live stream or for watching the recording. Today I'm gonna take you through the 6 benefits of Czech employee card, and along the way I will also drop some wisdom nuggets about the employee card in general. So before I jump into the 6 benefits, let's first talk about what is an employee card, because you might not know. So an employee card is a residence permit in the Czech Republic that allows a non-EU citizen to live in the Czech Republic and work or get employed on one specific position with one specific company. So that's very briefly. I've done other videos about that, and I've also shared a very long, detailed, complex article about the employee card in the description of the video. So if you want to know more of the theory about the employee card, go there. But now let's jump into the 6 benefits of having an employee card. So number 1, generally speaking, an employee card is a very strong type of residence permit. So if you show it somewhere, you go to some authorities, that's like a solid thing. It's not kind of like a visa. If you just have a visa sticker in your passport, that's nothing too serious. It also is valid usually for 2 years. It depends on your employment contract. It can be shortened, but generally the validity of the employee card is 2 years. So if you also want to get like a loan or mortgage in the Czech Republic, an employee card is a very good, very strong type of residence permit, especially because it's based on employment, and employment is usually good for loans, for mortgages and similar things. So that was benefit number 1. Benefit number 2, employee card is not really limited by anything. Basically, any profession, any job qualifies for the employee card. Any salary level, as long as it's a legal salary level. So you, for example, cannot go below the minimum wage, stuff like that. But as long as you meet the standard law requirements, then there is no limitation to the position, profession, level of education, level of salary. Yeah, the education as well, that's important, because for the employee card, you can have no education and still get the employee card. You can have like 3 PhDs, you can get the employee card. You can have high school, you can have bachelor's, you can have master's, no education at all, as I mentioned. Of course, must be related to the position. You cannot apply for a position of like a nuclear engineer and have like just primary school. That would probably not work out. But other than that, generally it's open to everything, all the different positions that are available on the market. Third, the employee card is pretty simple for you because your employer takes care of all the social security, healthcare payments, and tax office payments. So as long as you're only employed and you don't combine it, for example, with a trade license, you don't really need to worry about Czech taxes at all. You don't really need to do anything about your Czech taxes, about social security, healthcare, nothing like that. You don't worry about that. If you, for example, compare it to a business visa or a business residence permit, where you have to take care of everything on your own, and that can get pretty complicated and pretty tricky for extensions specifically, then the employee card is super simple. Number 4, it's a pretty straightforward path to the Czech permanent residence permit. Because the employee card is a solid residence permit, as I mentioned as benefit number 1. It's for 2 years. And as long as you keep your job, it's relatively straightforward to extend it. So you can get the employee card for 2 years, then you extend it for another 2 years, then for another 2 years, and then you apply for, within the validity of the 2 years, you apply for the Czech permanent residence permit. It's pretty straightforward as long as you keep the job. There are some like types of the employee card where you don't qualify for the PR at all, but those are very specific, and you don't see that often in like real life or in daily life. But for most types of employee card, and for like 99% of cases, it's the most straightforward path to permanent residency, because it also, all the years count as full years. And again, it's a strong residence permit, straightforward extensions. So it's a very, very simple path to Czech PR. Number 5, and that's something you might know or you might know, you might know or you might not know, but that is that the employee card has a non-dual version of it. And what it means is that in some cases, some foreigners in the Czech Republic have free access to Czech labor market, which means that they can work freely and they don't need the employee card to be like also a work permit or like permission to work in the Czech Republic. They only need the employee card as a permission to live in the Czech Republic. So it's way simplified to get the employee card, to extend it, everything, like you have more benefits like how long you can be unemployed, all that, if you have the non-dual employee card. So for example, you studied at Czech university, you graduated, you have a Czech bachelor's or master's degree, you have a free access to the labor market, you can get the non-dual version of the employee card and everything will be way, way simpler for you. For example, a blue card, which is generally a stronger residence permit than the employee card, and I did a video about that I think last week or 2 weeks ago, so if you're interested in blue card, go check the video. But blue card, for example, does not have the non-dual version. So even if you have free access to Czech labor market, you always need to advertise the position to the labor market and get the vacancy number. You always need to provide your education documents, all that. For an employee card, that does not apply, and you can have a like very, very simplified process of the employee card. Also, for example, now for Americans, Australians, Canadians, these nationalities that were granted free access to the Czech labor market, July 2024, the employee card application for them is also super straightforward right now. And number 6, number 6, I have a problem with numbers today. I need to drink something, sorry guys. I will be back to number 6 in a second. Yeah, so number 6, you can, number 6. Yeah, it's late for me now. Number 6, benefit number 6 of the employee card is that you can switch to it basically anytime. From any type of visa or residence permit you have, you can switch to an employee card. There are again some exceptions, because there are exceptions of everything or for everything in Czech immigration, but those are usually like not that common exceptions. So generally speaking, whatever type of visa or residence permit you can switch to an employee card. I'm not saying it's always recommended. There are cases where you should not do that ideally, or you should not do it for the reason you're doing it for, let's put it this way. But you can. If you have a business visa, you find employment, you can switch to an employee card. If you are a student, you find employment, you don't want to study anymore, or even if you want to continue studies but you would like to have the employee card, you can. If you're under family reunification and your spouse is moving away, you want to stay, you can switch to an employee card. You had an EU girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, whatever, wife, you split, and you want to stay in the Czech Republic, you can switch to an employee card. So the employee card is very kind of universal blood donor, I would say, that you can use it in most situations, and you can always kind of switch to an employee card and stay in the Czech Republic. So that's a very big benefit or advantage of the employee card, in my opinion, as well. So those were 6 benefits of Czech employee card. Let me see if you have any questions related to this topic. If you do, I will answer them here. If you don't have questions related to the employee card topic, I will do an open live stream Q&As, as you know from the past that I used to do so. But I now only do it for joiners. So if you want to ask me questions directly and have like a private consultation with me, you need to join now. Please do so. $8 a month, 8 consultations a month in that. And I'll be happy to answer your questions. But let me see if we have questions here. Today I had my biometrics administered in Ostrava. That's my first employee card. Is it true I'm not eligible for bridge visa if I want to visit back my home country for some urgent medical reason? Why would you need a bridge visa if you have an employee card already? Like, if you mean that you now are scheduled for biometrics and now you need to go back home, don't do that. Don't do that, because yes, you had one visa, you had the DVR visa, the one entry visa, but then you have 60 days to finish the employee card process. If you don't finish the employee card process within 60 days, that will be cancelled and you've lost everything you fought for. Plus, you cannot really come back to the Czech Republic because the visa you have now is just one entry visa. So definitely don't leave now for whatever reason. Once you get the employee card, you can travel as much as you want because the employee card allows you to travel freely. So there is no problem with that after you get it. I have work permit of Czech Republic. Is there 1 year work permit? Is it fake? Man, I've done this. I've answered this question a million times. Very, 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 very likely you've been scammed. Because getting an employee card from countries like India, Bangladesh, Nepal, the whole African continent is close to impossible unless your employer is registered in one of the governmental programs of economic migration, which if they were, they would have told you. If they didn't tell you, they are not. So you've been scammed, very likely. Chamuki Bazuki from Živno, you can switch without issue as American. Well, Živno only refers to the trade license. So Živno is not a visa type, it's not a residence permit type, it does not allow you to stay in the Czech Republic. So if you have Živno, you also need to have some type of visa or residence permit related or not related to that. I guess your question is if you have a Živno visa, like a business visa, that you can switch to an employee card, that's completely fine. But you must have some type of long-term visa, long-term residence permit. The Živno itself is just a trade license, which is just a confirmation that you got registered as a freelancer in the Czech Republic and that you can freelance in the Czech Republic. But it has nothing to do with a residence permit or a visa. Okay, guys, there are no more questions about the employee card. So I will now go to the joiners section and I will be doing a live Q&As there. So if you have any questions about any other topic than the employee card, join. It's only $8 a month. So you have 8 live streams with me a month. So it's like $1 per live stream where you can ask me anything and I will be answering your questions until like we both die if needed. So join and I'll be happy to see you there in 2 minutes. Good night, guys. Bye.